Hey, what's going on, guys? Every start this video gonna be a bit different from what people are used to, but this is my channel. I can do whatever I want, and I want to talk about a certain person, which obviously the title of this video, you know who that is, whether you know him or not. Every now and then, a person comes along that I witness. I always thought I had quite good perspective on life, and when I witness certain people and how they go about theirs, I get a gauge. I don't know what to call it, how powerful they are in a way. Um, But for me, there's people that impress me, inspire me, and the main two I've done compilations of Russell Brand and Gary Yourofsky because I think these have got incredible minds um, and a way of delivering something that is important because it's not just about the thoughts. They have to deliver it in a way that an audience can be inspired by, and they certainly do that. And this guy, Conor McGregor, I would put him as third on my list of most inspiring people right now. He's the most inspiring athlete to me right now. I always enjoy witnessing great athletes perform whatever the sport. I'm just a massive sports fan. It can be Lewis Hamilton, one that I enjoy watching at the moment. He's a great athlete, very cool. And I love documentaries on people like Tyson, Ali, people like Schwarzenegger. He was one of the most powerful, I don't know, manifest destiny guys. I don't know what to call it. Someone that just had a belief and then backed it up with what they did. Who else do I like right now? I don't know, Mo Farah, watching him, even David Rudisha, though he just lost his 800 meters. Usain Bolt, you know, these characters from different sports, Lionel Messi. I don't know. I'm just a massive sports fan, and then occasionally someone comes along that is not just the talent on the sport they do. They surpass that. They transcend that, and I feel right now. And people are going to be like, Tim, what do you want about? Tim, no one cares. No one cares. Whatever. So this is for people that care, that are open-minded, and a lot of my audience, people that will watch my videos, you're open-minded people. Conor McGregor is a UFC fighter. I've really enjoyed watching the UFC the last maybe 2 years. I've followed it a lot more closely. Again, people will be like, oh, but Tim, it's violence. How are you supporting violence? There is so much violence in this world that that is against people's free will, that is so unethical and immoral. There's so much goes on, and that is upsetting. That's what disturbs me, and I am 100% against that. But UFC is where two guys, two athletes agree to it. They agree to this violence. You can call it violence. I think it's an art. When you really start to understand it and witness it, for me, it's definitely an artistry because you're trying to break down. You're trying to pose questions to the other fighter. Can you take this? Can you take that? Okay, I've found it. You know, and for me, it is like a physical chess match between two athletes, two finely tuned athletes, and I appreciate watching it. I watch a lot of the background stuff. And if you watch Conor McGregor's latest fight in UFC 189, which was the single best sporting event I've ever witnessed, I always feel not disheartened, but I always wish I was around to watch Tyson in his time. You talk about people like Muhammad Ali in their time. Again, people might be upset that I'm maybe using Conor in the same sentence as these guys. So he's 26 years old, he's a young guy. But when I hear him speak, he is a philosopher. Conor McGregor is a philosopher. He's not just a fighter. He's not vegan. For me, it's nice when people are, and that's cool. But he's got his own role. I think maybe in the future he'll come to something like that. There's certainly, you see if you watch videos of him, he wears leather. He arrogantly jokes about wearing a suit that killed 3 elephants. But for me, this is just talk. It's not who he really is. Because again, people do this with Russell Brand, where they'll only hear some of the surface, the more vocal, the louder, more shocking things that someone will say, and they won't hear the quiet, subtle in-between marks. Whereas with Russell, I could always do that. And again, with Conor, you can hear that. When you watch the embedders leading up to the last UFC that he was in, he's a philosopher. You see him talk about running on an empty stomach and how it takes you places, it makes you feel something, you feel more of a survival mode. And then you see the other opponents, the other people in there, and they're all talking about themselves and me and that. Conor's just talking philosophy. He's laying it all out there. He's laying the blueprints to the winning formula, if you like. And you look at other great athletes in that, like Weidman and John Jones, and they all have such intelligent approach to training and a certain self-belief that transcends the other fighters. And Conor has the biggest self-belief I've seen and backs it up. Or maybe that's because he doesn't have to back up it. It's the self-belief that leads him to be successful. especially in the spiritual, on the spiritual journey in the community, I don't know, in life, we talk about law of attraction and talking things into appearing. The secret, or these kind of philosophies and theories about trying to believe something and then you manifest it over time. But it's a lot of people talk about this stuff, and not that many people are actually very powerful at really manifesting things that they want, because there's always they have to fight with their own self-doubt, and they can say, this is what I believe, this is what I want, this is how I'm going to get it, but as long as there's doubt in them, I think it kind of holds them back. And you look at Schwarzenegger, if you've seen Pumping Iron or just seen much from that guy, the way he did it and the self-belief, and it's definitely a lot of manipulation to be the best in his, and it's a shame but that's the community that he came from. That's what went on, and that's how he was able to win. And again, with fighting, there's a lot of mind games, and no one is better at that than Conor. But I just, you're born into a certain time period. I don't think fighting will go on like this. We'll go on forever. I think we'll get to a peaceful planet, and I don't think that will be in a lifetime where this stuff will stop. But this is the time period I'm born in, so I'm going to enjoy some of the things from this time period. I'm not going to try and live in a mountain in a rock and be raw vegan and disappear. I promote my message, and that's veganism, that's what I care about. But I like to appreciate other things from this time period that I'm alive in. And I think this really is an exciting time. I think that was the single best, like I say, the best sporting event I've ever witnessed. And it's just, I get to witness it, and no one is harming anyone that's not agreed to it. I know from the surface it does look violent, but these guys are trained professionals, and I enjoy it. And just to witness the rise of someone like Conor McGregor, the way I've done, and be inspired by it, and it's not making me want to go to fight camp and do UFC and stop fighting. I just enjoy watching it from afar, like I watch Formula One, like I watch many of the sporting events that I enjoy. Watch out for this guy. Watch out, because I think he's 26. He'll grow in the sport. He won the interim title. He's only going to grow and grow, and then there'll come a point when he will transcend the. Well, he's already transcended the sport, but he'll move on from fighting, I think, and I think at that point he will do great things. Actually, this is a really, really big statement, but I think he'll do great things for humanity at some stage, because he's deep, man. I can see he gets it. He really understands life, and he is, through that understanding and self-belief and work ethic, he's able to back that up and manifest things for himself and the people around him. And it's not very often you get to see someone with the talk that backs it up. Honestly, it's so rare, and he could be from any sport, and I would appreciate it. It's not because it's UFC and he's a UFC fighter. That's just what happens to be his artistic outlet, and I would listen to him wherever he came from. But yeah, he's a powerful man. And he's from Ireland. I think Ireland is definitely, people aren't aware of how powerful that place is right now, of the things that are going to come out of Ireland in the next few years. The Irish people are powerful people, and if you watch that, if you know Conor and you see the following guests from there, you'll understand that. Anyway, this is a different one, but it's as I said, my channel. I put up what I want, and this guy has been inspiring me for the last year, and even the last 2 weeks leading up to this fight. I've been sort of in limbo, just anticipating it. I've been watching so much, like Luke Thomas, Ariel Helwani. I watch all the UFC and the embedders leading up to it, and I enjoy that, man. As an athlete, appreciating athletes. And I've been so busy. I've been doing a lot. I did 100k. I did my marathon at Ninja Warrior UK. That was like a weekend apart. Then 3 weeks later, I did a 100-kilometer race. 3 weeks later, I did a mountain race. Then 2 weeks later, I did Ninja Warrior USA versus the world. So look out for that. I was captain of Team Europe on that again. I did a lot in 3 months, and I needed a rest. And so the last 2 weeks I took off, and I just watched the rise of this in anticipation. And life is a lot about tension and release, tension and release. And this was a moment that was definitely an amazing moment. I got to witness it with a lot of my good friends last night. And I just think, absolutely look out for this guy. Whether you follow UFC or not, you're going to see a lot of this guy, and you see where he's at in 20 years. I'm very excited to see where he's at in 20 years, because he'll be doing great things for the planet. Anyway, thank you guys. This is about 10 minutes. I appreciate you following. I really do love all the appreciate all the comments, feedback I get from you guys. You are such an amazing community, audience, friends. fellow humans. Yeah, I don't thank you guys enough because I don't want to be wasting your time just saying thank you all the time. But I am grateful for all of you, the good and the bad and the inquisitive and the rude and everything. It's all good, man. It's all life. It's all fun. Don't take it too seriously. All right, peace, guys.